I gotta get myself a little more faith, a little more love.
I'm your host, Krista Bigler, and I'm going to guess we have at least one thing in common, that we're both in pursuit of a less stressed life. On this show, I'll be interviewing experts and sharing clinical pearls from my years of practice to support high performing, health savvy women in pursuit of abundance and a less stressed life. One of my beliefs is that we always have options for getting the results we want. So let's see what's out there together.
Just keep breaking. I gotta get myself a little more faith, a little more love.
Hey, friend. Today, I want to have a real conversation about something I've seen play out over and over again, not just with my clients, but I also was a victim of this in my own life. And it's this idea that sometimes we outsource too much. I know, just bear with me. It's not just like laundry or grocery orders or cleaning, but the really important stuff. It's our health. And I think that's a mirror to our wealth as well. So, what I mean by this is that we're really high functioning people, high functioning women. And so we might lead households or businesses or teams. And when something feels overwhelming or unfamiliar, we want to bring in an expert, right? So if you're not an expert on healing, you might hire someone else to help you heal. But when we give away our power and outsource all of it in the hands of the other person, we sometimes give away our power. So finances are the same. We naturally just want to hire someone else to just fix anything, to handle anything. And that's a good thing. Support is good. But when we completely disconnect and hand over our power, our responsibility, really our autonomy, that's when things can sometimes fall apart. And I need to give you my personal example. So, years ago, I started feeling just pinched by taxes. I was doing well in business, but the taxes were hitting hard. And I know the pains of adulting when you realize the reality of a third of the money going to the tax man. So, as such, I started looking at legal ways to reduce my tax bill in the form of tax strategy. So different than accounting, but really strategy. So what followed was a parade of very expensive lessons because I was hoping someone else could just handle it and I wanted to hand it off. For example, these things are actually embarrassing, but what is good is that I've healed from this, and that's the point of this episode. So one tax strategist charged me $9,000 upfront for a generic 70 slide PowerPoint deck that they went over with me. The next guy, also a large chunk of change. I don't know how to describe him except that he was a total, I don't think he was like playing with a full deck. He did not deliver. And ultimately, he had me so nervous that he had any part of my financial picture that I just broke up with him and split ways and took the loss. Then I found a third company. I was convinced that working with these men mansplaining me was not the way. So I found a third company run by a woman that seemed more legit. And it was. She was a ex-IRS agent, but through our relationship, I would get anytime they needed a document, it ended up becoming this threatening email of if we don't get this document from 5 years ago that I didn't even know what the document was, then blah, blah, blah. There was like these threatening things. And it was not good for my nervous system. And I was just terrified I'd mess something up. Now I like to joke that if I got audited, I'll be fine because I already feel like I've been audited by my tax strategist. But along the lines, it hit me that there was a lesson in all of this. And when we don't learn the lesson, life keeps handing us the lesson in different ways. That I was outsourcing. I was at their mercy because I didn't really know. I didn't understand what was happening. And I was super busy with life and work that I didn't want to deal with it. So it was just felt like another weight on my shoulders that I thought I was passing off. I was hoping someone else would care enough to help me get the result, but the truth is, no one is going to care more than you do. So once I accepted that, and I accepted the lesson that I needed to learn in this parade of expensive lessons, everything changed. I didn't need to become a full-on financial expert, but I did need to understand the big picture. I did need to take some ownership and some responsibility because without it, I was giving away my power. And when you take on the big picture, when you understand the big picture, when you have a general understanding of whether it's your health or your wealth, you can stop making decisions from fear or confusion, which just looks like desperation sometimes. It's like you grab for new supplements because you're like, maybe this will work, or you hire a new tax strategist because you hope they will solve your problem. Instead, you start creating options, some breathing room. You start asking different questions to get better clarity and to stop outsourcing your power. So, I want to insert here 4 questions to help you reclaim some confidence in terms of finances, because that's a little bit about what this is about. So, here are these questions. The first one is, do I have any stressful or scarcity thoughts about money? Now, sometimes these thoughts are sneaky, so I'm going to give you some examples. Have you ever jumped to conclusions in your brain before you open letters from the IRS? Or are you always filing a tax extension? Of course, are you always asking your CPA to file a tax extension because financial reconciliation is at the bottom of your to-do list? Or do you have any thoughts that you just have to keep earning and making more money? Or did the news of the stock market crashing last month give you any kind of stress or scarcity or anxiety? Okay, so that seemed like a lot of questions. It was just actually a bunch of examples under the first question, which is, do I have any stressful or scarcity thoughts about money? And I think I wanted to give those examples because those maybe aren't the first things that come up. Sometimes we have to excavate these things and realize, oh, I was actually stressed when I saw the IRS send me a letter and telling me I owed them $30,000 based on real events. Okay, so the second question is, do I know what's going out each month to help me forecast? Not like a guess or not just what's in your head. That's a good starting point, but what's really going out, or is checking accounts something that you avoid because you're just not a numbers person? Here are quotes here. So that second question is, do I know what's going out each month that would help me forecast what I need? The first question was, do I have any stressful or scarcity thoughts about money? Feel free to put this on pause if you want, or just write it down to come back to later. The third, or just what's popping up in your head right away. The third is, can I answer the question, do I have enough? How do I know that I have enough? Is it enough of what? Is it enough for a sabbatical? These are also based on real events for me. Is it enough so I could take a sabbatical if I needed to retire, to take time off? What if I get sick and cannot work? What if my business needs to take a shift like mine did at the end of last year? What if I want to, similar to the sabbatical, what if I want to do something before I'm 59 and a half? What if I want to enjoy my life before 59 and a half? Do I have enough? Right? And what is enough? If you don't know the answer to that, that's okay, but it's a good place to dig in. What is enough? And the last question is, do I have a clear system for growing my money for my specific goals? Not just this like save more or invest more, but a system. So you're not constantly wondering if you're doing it right. You just know. You can check the box and say, yeah, I'm super good. I know exactly what I'm doing. Or if I am not doing it yet, I have a plan for getting there. So if you're unsure about one of those questions, if any of them made your stomach kind of do a flip-flop, you're not alone. Some of these were my direct examples that I've grown from. When I was getting drilled by the tax strategist and getting letters that they didn't file my tax returns on time, it did make me a little bit sick, even though it was totally remediable. It was actually fine. These are just some of the questions that we don't ask, but we need to. So here's some logic behind all of this. It's like, why is this health person talking about finance? It's just because I see this mirror, this relationship where we outsource in different areas. So the circumstances don't matter. This happens in health all of the time. So don't worry, next retreat will be about outsourcing your health, reclaiming that. That's actually like my day to day. This is what I feel really passionate about right now, is like helping people reclaim health autonomy. And similarly, when I was planning this year's retreat for September, what I needed for retreat planning was a topic that was really interesting to me right now. So, anyway, money is just a tool. And tools don't require mastery, but they do require some know-how. It's like you wouldn't pop random supplements into your body without knowing what they would do. You wouldn't hand over your entire financial world to someone else and hope it all works out, right? I'm laughing about the random supplements in our body without knowing what they do because I see this happening all the time. I'm like, hey, what is the outcome that you should expect from this? Do you know what happens when you put this input in? What's supposed to happen when? What's the outcome that you can expect on the other side and for how long? You see how you can apply these same concepts to different areas of life. It's not just about wealth, right? It's also like these same things, these same types of things that I see coming up in health. The truth is, for me, I don't think that answering these questions can wait. I think the longer we wait to take ownership over our financial capacity and our confidence is just another year where we're not living to our full potential. Potentially, like we don't know what we don't know. So while some people might be stressed about what's been happening with the market the last couple of months, we might look at this instead as this amazing opportunity to grow. The thing is, you're already working hard, and so your money should be working hard for you too. But that's hard to do without clear direction, without knowing what your baseline is or where you want to go. If you don't know where you want to go, it's hard to build a plan or a roadmap to get there. As I was saying, I know what it feels like to be on the other side of this, to just be busy, exhausted, and tired, and hoping that someone else will just take care of it because I'm not a numbers person and I don't want to deal with it. Or to feel like you're constantly just working on earning, but you don't know if it's enough. Or to feel like asking questions about money makes you look dumb. I can't tell you how perplexed I was that I was asking the people who were on my financial team basic questions that they could not answer, like asking my loan officer about whether if I put extra money toward the principal payment of a real estate purchase, how it would save. And I was having a hard time getting answers, or asking about whether I would have enough money to retire with to my financial advisor and just not being able to get that answer. And instead of, I know how it is to feel like I already told you my parade of embarrassing stories about tax strategists being mansplained for the seventh time and then just walking away more confused than before. And so when I was thinking about what I wanted to create this year, what kind of like intentional escape, amazing escape, I just I was really drawn to this topic, which is why I created the Wealthy Woman Retreat this year, which is really the intersection of wealth and well-being, the intersection of health and abundance. If this concept is resonating with you at all, then I want to invite you to join me this September in Salt Lake City. I'm gathering this small group of unpretentious, brilliant, super fun women to eat incredible food and have the kinds of conversations that are just truly life-changing. And to get your financial stuff in order in a way that actually feels good. I've stayed at this property before, and I want you to imagine drinking coffee or tea on the front porch and rocking chairs with a gorgeous view of the mountains and the swans toddling across the lawn to the pond, or relaxing by the pool in the backyard in between the getting stuff done sessions, or just taking a stroll around one of the two ponds on the property, eating that delicious food from our in-house chef. I can't wait to have her along with us this time, and always functional wellness activities and breath work to integrate what you learn and apply from the on-site experts that I'm bringing in. I'm bringing you experts in investing and asset protection that aren't stuffy. Don't worry. I've interviewed them. We know each other. But these are topics I would normally, like trust and wills, I would normally find a snooze fest in the past. We're making those more fun. And even better, we're helping you get the things that need to get done actually done. So you get to decide what you want to walk away with in this time. But if you want to escape to a gorgeous mansion for 4 days and emerge with a complete plan with automations implemented with someone next to you holding your hand, then this is the retreat for you. This just means that you get to walk away with more than clarity. You get to walk away with reclaiming your power. And look, I get it. You've probably hired people, maybe downloaded some spreadsheets or read a book or two. But the truth is, there is only gain, only things to gain when you take ownership of both your health and wealth. So I wanted to create this safe space for women to help you get more done in 4 days than maybe you've ever gotten done with your financial plan, just so you can ensure you're on the right track for the life you want to live and feel confident about it, to live well and to enjoy it without any judgment, as just a safe place without anyone selling you something on a commission. None of that. It's just a safe place for women to come together on the topics of wealth and well-being. And it's a retreat I would have happily paid triple for in retrospect to save me that small fortune of mistakes I've made. And now this retreat exists. My superpower is bringing together really incredible groups of women. So I am consistently floored at every retreat at how absolutely synergistic everyone is. So I'll leave you with this. No one will ever care more than you do, but that doesn't mean that you have to go it alone. This retreat is about taking time to be intentional about your money working for you so you can live well and enjoy it. So, don't forget to answer those 4 questions I gave you. And will I see you in Salt Lake? If so, you can head over to lessstressliferetreats.com and you can apply, and then we'll have a chat about it. We'll make sure to put all that in the show notes. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bones, but they just keep breaking.